Hi, Mello. Obviously, it's been some time now, 10 years, I think, but does returning to Denver to play in the postseason, place where you started your NBA career, does that carry anything with you? Does that mean anything to you at this point in your career?
Well, the fact that I haven't even thought about it from that perspective, but just the fact that I'm able to be back there on the other side though, competing in playoffs, knowing the time that I've 7.5 years, 8 years that I've spent my first 7.5, 8 years spending it in Denver, knowing just how in tune I was to the city, to the organization, to the people, to the fans. So I mean that place will always hold something special to me, regardless of if I'm in that jersey or as an opponent. But it's a lot different now. It's a lot different because my mindset is different. My goals are different. We going in there trying to win. So it's a different type of mentality. But deep down inside, I know that place, that Denver will always hold a special place to me.
Thanks, Mel.
Aaron Fentress with the Oregonian.
Could you describe if there's a big difference between the feel of this team heading into the playoffs this season as opposed to last season?
Well, last season was different. I mean, we was off. I mean, for months, and we had to gear back up for playoffs. So it wasn't like we had 8 games to get ready for the playoffs. Now it's kind of back to normal now, right? It's you play your season, you go into the playoffs. It's regular structure, regular format. So it's easy. It's easier now to take it up a notch, right? I would say it's easier to focus in because we're just coming off of playing the season. It ain't like we gotta wait months to come out there and play. We right back into the saddle of things. We know who we playing. We can prepare for them in the right fashion, and we can go.
What about the roster cohesion in that respect, and just sort of the health of the roster, how you guys are playing?
Yeah, we're healthy. We're in a good space. Mentally, we're in a good space. As a unit, as a team, we're in a good space. Confidence-wise, we're in a good space. These are all things that you want to have clicking for you going into the postseason. And I think right now we have a lot of those things that's working in our favor, heading into this postseason. So we gotta stay with it. We gotta continue to believe in ourselves, understand what we up against, understand how hard we work to get to this point. And at the end of the day, it's us versus them now. We start Saturday.
Thanks.
Jason Quick with The Athletic.
Mello, as someone who kind of understands what goes into perfecting a shot, I wonder what your impressions are of CJ McCollum's shot arsenal.
His shot arsenal?
Yeah.
Bag?
Yeah.
No, I mean, it's for me, it's nothing new, right? He works on it. If it was somebody who didn't work on it and just show up in the games just doing these shots and these moves, and it's like, you'll be surprised. I'm not surprised because I see him work on it every single day. We work on it together. I see him work on it in the offseason. So it's muscle memory at this point, and CJ is a guy who's real, meticulous with his moves and things that he wants to get done and get into his spot and, making sure he take the right amount of dribbles and the right angles, to get to his spot. I mean, all of that is just stuff that he's worked on in the offseason. He continued to work on during the season. These are things that he's very familiar with. So by the time the game comes, those shots are just a matter of making it or missing it at that point.
Is there a shot that he has from a technical standpoint that impresses you?
I think it's easier for me to see that and understand it. The eye test on that for me is a lot different than some of the average person watching that or seeing that. So it's sometimes I'm looking like, damn, like how you pull that off? Like, I go back and I study the footwork and I look at the movement and the angles that he used, and then I can get a better understanding on that. But the average eye would just look at that and be like, oh, that was a crazy move. Like for me, I got to break it down. I got to see what went into him going this way as opposed to going right. He went left, or, taking one less dribble to get to his shot as opposed to taking an extra dribble where the defender might could come and, help. So these are real things that,
Right.
The basketball mind got to think about.
Well, that's what I'm saying, though. Is there one of his shots, be it the hezzy or the crossover, or, now he's got a lefty, he's got the scoop, the underhand scoop shot now.
Well, the lefty is impressive. I would say that. The lefty is impressive. Anytime you're moving at the pace that he moving, shifty as he is, and to be able to get to your spot and raise and use the opposite hand, that's very impressive.
Dwight James, NBC Sports Northwest.
Melo, Denver's always had a good home court advantage over the years, and as somebody who played there and experienced this, I'm interested to hear your opinion on the effect of the altitude there. How much of an effect is it?
Well, the altitude, it is what it is, man. It's effective. You never know what to expect with altitude. You can't control that. You just try to prepare yourself. But the good thing is we're in shape, right? We've been playing all year long. Like we trained, we in shape. That's why we going to Denver earlier, to trying to get some running in that altitude and just getting used to it or trying to get used to it. At this point, man, it is what it is. You got to do what you got to do to prepare for the game, for the altitude. We're going to be there. So, bring the things that you need, essentials that you need, get the mind around the rest, the right amount of rest, the right amount of fluids in your body that you need, and you go from there. We're in shape. I can tell you that. We might feel the altitude a little bit, but for the most part, man, it's basketball now.
Orlando Sanchez with KGW TV.
Hey, Melo, I got to imagine you got a lot of appreciation to be in the playoffs again. What does it mean to you to be in this position once again, to play in the postseason and compete for a championship?
Well, it means a lot. I mean, this is where I should be. I should be in the postseason. No, that's just me speaking, from the heart and genuinely. Like I don't see, if I'm not in the postseason, then it should be a problem. Those years that I didn't make it to the postseason, it was very stressful. It was hurtful. It was stressful. It was painful because I had to go back and relive the moments of why I wasn't in the postseason. So now I'm in a familiar place, playing in the postseason, being able to do it at this level, 18 seasons in, and still going out there, having a chance to compete at the highest level and hopefully for a championship. So, there's nothing more you can ask for that.
Going back to Casey.
Carmelo, kind of Orlando really led into it. We've talked a lot about your legacy this season, moving in top 10, passing people. Do you feel like you need to have playoff success to cement a legacy or anything like that? Like, is that like a missing?
I don't have to prove anything. Like, again, I want to go out there and play, good and hard, and I'll be prepared mentally and physically, for the postseason. I know what I have to do in these situations. I know what my team needs from me. But other than that, I don't feel like I need to prove anything to anybody. I just go out there and continue playing the way I'm playing, and of course dial it up, to postseason mode. I am in postseason mode at this moment, so it's a lot more details that goes into that. A lot more preparation that goes into that, and I prepare the way that I prepare. But other than that, man, I have nothing to prove to anyone at all. There's nothing for me to prove out there.
Postseason Melo.
That's
Aaron
it.
Fentress.
Hey, Carmelo, when you came into the league, teams were averaging 15 threes per game. Your Denver team shot 12. Exactly. You know where I'm going. Now you're on a team averaging 41 per game. The league average is 35. What do you think about that evolution? And where's it going to end? Are we going to see teams averaging 50, 55, 63s? Or is there a cap on this?
There's no cap. I don't think there's a cap. Again, to your reference point of when I first came in the league, we was in Denver, we was 15, 18 threes a game. Maybe like you shot 25 threes, people's looking at you like you settling too much, right? You got to correct that the next game. Now 25 threes is first half, right? That's, some teams, they getting that up early. Some teams are shooting 55 plus threes and 60 threes a game. Like that's hard to do, man. That just means that you change your whole game to focus on that. Some nights is beneficial, some nights is not. Who knows? But I don't think we will see a change anytime soon. Maybe when the bigs start to come back, and I think a lot of the bigs are doing a great job with the Jokic and Embiid and those type of bigs who can transcend the game and transform the game. But even those guys are shooting threes, so you just don't know. I don't see it changing over the next couple years.
Jamie Hudson, NBC Sports Northwest.
Melo, last season, or well, in the bubble, it was skinny Melo. Now you say it's postseason Melo. Can you expand on what that means, and also how valuable do you think this week off is going to be?
I don't know where all these Melos is coming from. There's only one Melo, man. It's me. It's whether it's hoodie, whether it's post, whether it's bubble. Regardless of who it is, it's me at the end of the day. I'm gonna go out there and be me, and I'm gonna enjoy it and have fun and compete and try to win. It's only one. It's only me.
And then how valuable do you think this week off will be for you and your teammates?
I can tell you what, I'm utilizing this week to the best that I can. I tell you, we got to get the proper recovery, the proper work, but you also got to understand you as an individual and what you do and what you need, right? And the preparation that you need to go out there and be prepared for this battle. I know what I need, from body standpoint, from the amount of work that I need. I know when I'm pushing myself a little bit too hard. I know when I got to dial it back. So this week gave me an opportunity to do that. Today was a highly, it was a high day, high productive day, high production day for me. Yesterday was more of a mental day. Tomorrow would be more of a half day for me, tightening up my skills and getting skill work in and, doing things that, of the such. So every day is completely different, in order to be prepared.
James Hill, BNC Sports.
Hey, Carmelo, congratulations on all your success of being one of the greatest players of all time. Let's get that out the way. When I grew up in Portland with Damon and Terrell and watched Lucas and the guys win the chip and was the ball boy with Clyde and Terry and these guys, we have a great appreciation for Rip City and what that means. You've been there a while now, and we're looking at you and Dame and the guys. From your perspective, what is that Trailblazer quality? What does that mean to you personally? And then B, just talk a little bit about moving into the playoffs this year. And then we would love to see another parade rolling down Broadway.
Yeah, just what I feel personally about just the whole Trailblazer experience and, being here in Portland and the fans. And, unfortunately, we couldn't experience the fans over the past season like the way we wanted to, and even some of last year. But for the most part, man, it's very family oriented, right? We hold each other down. We hold, we have each other's backs. We hold each other accountable. We talk issues and problems out. We don't let it linger. We don't bring it into the locker room. Whatever's happening outside of the locker room, we keep it outside of the locker room. If it's something that needs to be addressed, we address it, we handle it. And I just think that when you have that type of camaraderie as a team, as a unit, in a place like Portland, when you have the support that we have from our fan base, it ties everything all together. Everybody feel as one. So I think that's why anybody feels so connected to the Blazers year in and year out, because we allow that. We bring that camaraderie, we show that camaraderie, and we show how we have each other's backs.
And last question is coming from Krista Saltis with Sport DNA.
Hello, Melo. Hope you are doing well. I would like to ask you, you finished strong the regular season. What kind of boost you get as a team about the series against the Nuggets? And what did you notice as the biggest strength of your team, especially in the last in the final stretch of the season?
Health.
the
Health.
biggest strength?
Yeah, well, it's, our health is our biggest strength. I tell you that coming down the stretch of the season. And again, anytime you can go into postseason healthy, that has to be one of the biggest strengths, right? That, you know, when you're healthy, that gives you confidence, that gives you momentum. You feel better about yourself. You feel better about situations. You feel better about game plans. Mentally, you feel better. And when you're healthy, everything the dominoes just fall into place for you. And I think that's what we're experiencing right now. Everybody is healthy. We work so hard to get to this point, and to get to this point under these conditions, with being a healthy team going into the season, going into the postseason. As you can see over the past 2.5 weeks, us being healthy, you saw the difference in our play. You saw the momentum that we picked up, as far as winning games and our style of play and gameplay. Everybody started to lock in. Everybody felt comfortable with doing what they needed to do and playing the roles that they needed to play, because we knew we could rely on each other because we was healthy. And I think that's one of our biggest strengths coming into this postseason.